everyone, my name is Lacey. If you have been a subscriber for a while, you know that this is unusual. I'm fully clothed. Most of the videos that I've done in the past, I have done fitness. I've showed you some different workouts because I was Beachbody coach, and I showed you my problems with diastasis recti. So I'm sure this seems like a little unusual, a little confusing for you, but what I'm going to do today is kind of tell you about what I have been doing. It's been almost 6 months. I started my own business and I'm super excited about it. I have really learned a lot and I've grown a lot, and I have a pretty good handle on what I've been doing these last few months. It was super crazy in the beginning, but I've had an absolute blast and I want to share it with everyone. And I would like to answer any questions that anyone might have. So April 13th, I joined as an independent representative with Agnes Dora. Now, I was a little hesitant not to join with the company because I loved the clothes, but I was a little hesitant to just start something like this because it's so different. It was unlike anything I'd really done before. Of course, I had been a Beachbody coach, but you know, I didn't have my own inventory. I didn't have to manage everything, and so it was a big investment, and I'm super happy that I decided to go ahead and make that initial investment and join in with this company because it has been an absolute blessing to our family, and I am having an absolute blast. As you know, I don't just define myself with fitness. I also have been obsessed with fashion my entire life. They are my two major passions, and so you know, to be able to do both of them it really is a blessing because it allows me to be able to express myself outside of just being mommy all day at home. So Agnes Dora is a company. It's based in Salt Lake City. It's very small right now. I think we still have like less than 3,000 reps. Now, I want you to check the date in this video so that you know time-wise kind of where it is. Because if you happen to catch this video in 6 months, some of the information that I'm about to give you may not be accurate. So either look for a follow-up video or get what you can out of this, and then double check some of the things that that I bring up in the video, because you know, a lot can change in just a short amount of time. So I initially had 2 styles that made me fall in love with the company. I got them in, I tried them on, I was obsessed. Like, I need to know more. So I got in queue. It took quite a while because at that time they weren't onboarding anybody. They wanted to take it slow, they wanted to grow the company, but they didn't want to grow too fast, and so I had to wait from right at the beginning of January until April 13th. Got my inventory in, and it has been a complete craziness ever since I did any of that. So I do have some things written down in terms of, you know, maybe questions that people might have. Now, the first thing that everyone pops up is how much it is to join. Now, there's 2 different packages. I'm actually not going to tell you the amounts of those packages right now because in an effort to keep this as timely as possible, I don't know what they could be in 3 months or 4 months. So let's just try to keep it basic. So right now there are 2 different packages that you can buy. I bought the cheaper one because as a rep with Agnes Dora, I get to pick my own inventory, and so I didn't want to have a ton of stuff that they had sent me. I wanted to be able to have my own. The initial kit, you don't get to pick. You get it prepackaged, you get started off, and then you can start building your own inventory with the choices that you make. So I got the cheaper one. It was a good decision for me. And I think one of the biggest things that I noticed about Agnes Dora is no one was pushing me to try to take out a loan or max out my credit cards. It was nothing like that. Everybody was super supportive about it, and they wanted me to take my time, make sure this was the right decision for me and my family, and that's exactly what I did. I mean, I had been thinking about it for several months. I was thinking about joining another company, and some craziness happened, and I decided not to do that. So I just felt really good about the fact that no one was pushing me to do this. They weren't like, I need you on my team. It was nothing like that. Nothing. And it was really, it resonated with me because I'm used to with Beachbody, it's like join, be on our team, and I don't necessarily want to build a team. I don't have a clue what I want. I just want to get my inventory and start selling clothes. Like, that's all I really want to do right now. So I made the initial investment and I got my clothes in, and it was, like I said, it's kind of a whirlwind, but a lot of the people on that come on, they either have the cash in hand or they take out a no interest credit card, and that's what I did. I've paid it off several times back and forth since I've started, but I mean, I don't have any interest on it right now, so I just put my new inventory on it and then I pay it off. Then I put my new inventory on it and I pay it off. I'll look at something else down the road whenever I don't have that option anymore and my interest rate turns on. But like I said, there's several different ways you can afford it if you decide that that's what you want to do and that's what's right for your family. So the commitment level. Now, that's something I think before you join with the company, you really need to consider. I am a stay-at-home mom, and I've done several different things from my computer because once my family goes to bed at night, I'm a night owl, so I'm always up. I'm like, why am I not making money while I'm up? So I have always kind of done some small things, contract work-wise online. I am a personal trainer, and I also teach a trampoline class at SkyFit at our Sky Zone. So I have a lot of different little things that I kind of play around in, but I didn't have a clue the amount of time that it was going to take. Now, it's not unbearable, and it's going to sound a lot worse than what it really is, because I work my business any chance that I get, because I want to be successful with it. I want to grow my business. So any chance that I get, I'm trying to work my business. Now, it's a very, very fine line between working your business and not paying attention to anyone else in your family. And I've crossed it before. I've been there. So it takes a lot of discipline to be able to leave your phone away from you and not be in this business. It's very, very difficult. It's a struggle daily. Okay, so if you don't want to be attached to your phone, this isn't the business for you, because you're going to have to answer a lot of questions. You're going to have a lot of information coming in and out on your phone, and you're going to want to see it, and you're not going to want to miss it. And that's fine. You can say, oh, I can get to it later. I'll set my hours, this, that, and the other. Well, that's fine, but when someone messages you and they ask you about an item on your website and you don't respond for 8 hours, they've probably bought it from someone else. I'm sorry, I don't want to miss a sale because I waited 8 hours until my hours came on for me to actually take the time and message them back. So I try to go at least 2 hours a day where I don't look at my phone at all, and those 2 hours I'm fully engaged with my kids, and so either we're outside or we're playing inside or we're just snuggling, watching a movie or something like that. 2 hours a day. The other parts of the day, I'm literally trying to survive. And I know that's going to sound bad, but I mean, I have 2 kids under 3. One goes to pre-K in the middle of the day, so I take him to pre-K and then I have to bring him home. The other one has a nap schedule. It's like I'm constantly feeding children and trying to check messages, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like I utilize the time when I'm doing the busy work with my kids to check messages, respond, maybe make sure somebody got their invoice, this, that, and the other. And then during nap time for my youngest and while my oldest is away at pre-K, I get some work done, and then after they go to bed at night. That is the majority of the time that I get most of my work done. And so I think, from my opinion, I feel like if you have a full-time job, it will make it more difficult. And I know there are plenty of reps on our team that are in the company that maintain a full job, and they still love doing this. It really depends on what you want your business to be. Now, I think it's easier when we are able to be home during the day. I don't think it's necessarily easier overall in terms for a stay-at-home mom necessarily, because I mean, I'm still busy all day long. Like, sometimes my head just spins, I mean, some of you are watching this and going, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm like, I'm just trying to eat a pizza and get my house clean and run a business and keep 2 kids alive all at the same time. It's crazy, you guys. It's crazy. So I think it's just really important that you consider who you are and what you want, because it's very easy to listen to a video on YouTube and think, oh yeah, I could do that. But no, you need to actually sit down and really think about who you are and what you want. Okay? So this is how I run my business. I do almost completely all online. And then I have 2 days a week that I have open hours where people come and shop. And that's wonderful for me. I don't do vendor events right now. I've only done one home party. It's just a lot of work for me to load all of my inventory up, put it in my car, unload it, set it up, do a thing or do a vendor event for 5 or 6 hours, load it back up in my car, bring it back in the house, and set it all back up again. That is a lot of work. So you got to figure out how you're going to make your money. What's going to work best for you and your family and your time. Because as a full-time employee and then going into the evening, that leaves weekends to do vendor events. That leaves weekends to do home parties. Do you want to be gone for 6 or 7 hours on the weekends every weekend to make money? I am not telling you can't do it. I'm saying you need to be able to think about these things, because that sounds great in theory and someone can talk you into this opportunity with that. But is that what you want? I mean, I sure as hell want to have 2 days off, and I want to be playing with my kids, get housework done, different things like that. I mean, if I'm going to have days off, I want my days off too. So you have to consider, if you have a family, there are other things and other responsibilities that you have to consider. Please do that, because I see tons of reps going out of business because they can't handle it. Like I said, I do feel like it is a little easier for stay-at-home moms because we're here all day and we can, if I need 20 minutes to do something, I can throw a kid, down here. I have a playroom behind my boutique. I can let him play back there, and the other one can roam around down here with me for 20 minutes or so while I package up orders. But you really have to consider your time and what you have available for this business. Now, if you're a full-time employee and you just want to maintain a business online, you can totally do that. There's tons of different ways, and it may be a little more difficult for you because you're getting home, you're trying to do homework, feeding kids, this, that, and the other, but it's totally doable. Anything is totally doable. Guys, I just want you to focus on scenarios of what is doable for you and for your family. So, commitment-wise, the live sales is how I do it. I get the online orders come in on my website. There's lots of packaging. I think that actually takes a lot more time than what anyone considers, because you have to wrap everything up, put it in the boxes and the envelopes. You gotta get those labels printed. You gotta put everything in, get ready, and then you gotta run it to the post office. That's actually super time consuming. It's not my favorite part, but it's doable. And like I said, it's one of those things that I can kind of do while the kids are snacking or while they're playing together, different things like that. So, live sales, I usually do one a week. I usually do one in the evenings because I teach my SkyFit class the other 2 nights, and I try not to bombard my husband with me doing too much during the week. That's already 3 nights where I'm completely not around him at all. So you just have to think about those things. I know I've said that several times, but I'm serious, you guys. None of us as current reps, maybe some of them, but none of us want you to come into an opportunity and have you get discouraged and get frustrated. It really is a big decision to do something like this. So, space. A lot of reps have very minimal space, and they do just fine. If you don't want to have open hours, you don't need that much space to do this. You can have a couple racks in a spare room. You could use a spare closet. You can put it up anywhere. I mean, if you have kids, they have the wardrobes where you can zip them up, and they're not going to be able to get in those, at least we hope. I have ninjas. They might. I don't know. But I wanted to be able to have people to come to my house and to shop, because I like to spend personal time with my customers, and I like to help them style things, and I have a lot of requests to do that. So I built an actual boutique into my home. It's in our basement, and it looks super cute down here. Right now it's a complete disaster because I have clothes everywhere from a live sale that I did a couple nights ago. Space-wise, don't worry about that. That's one of the smallest things you need to worry about, is because even if you left everything in the bags, in the boxes, you'd still be fine. You just have to have a better idea of what you have and make sure nothing gets stuck under something and lost. So, in terms of like outside costs, I really don't have that many. I think if you're doing vendor events a lot, you're going to have you know, you're going to have to get some tables and some other fixtures and things to set up with, maybe like tablecloths, stuff like that. I haven't gotten to that point. I really don't want to do it, but I might, you know, just to kind of be active in my community. I had the initial cost to set up an area down here. I kept it as absolutely cheap as possible. I probably spent between $700 and $800 just getting everything set up down here. I used paint that I already had. I made some super cute, cheap fixtures that hang from the wall with some rope and like plumbing stuff that I saw on Pinterest. Duh. The rugs were like my most expensive thing that I got because I needed fairly big area rugs because it's concrete floor. So outside costs, I don't really have a ton. If you're doing it completely online and using your website, you really don't have to worry about incurring a ton of extra costs every month. Now, I do pay extra insurance to cover my inventory and extra insurance in case someone trips down and falls down my stairs and somebody tries to hurt themselves, stuff like that. But in terms of like business expenses, of course, everything's like printers, and I just had to buy a new one because mine pooped. Ink, stuff like that. Really nothing big there. Lights, if you want lights, because I have one on me right now. Tripod, stuff like that. Nothing big, and it's not going to be like every single month. There's tons of different ways to sell. I mentioned a couple already. A lot of the reps use Periscope. I don't use Periscope, not right now, but I mean, you can have your own hours. You can do in-homes, you can do vendor events, you can sell Facebook Live right now, at least. I have a group where I sell stuff in. It depends. Your referring rep should be able to help you, you know, manage and kind of talk through those things, because I think that's very, very important. You need to be able to talk through what ways that you're going to sell to. Not only how you're going to afford it, but how are you going to sell right away too, because that's part of the commitment part. Now, I could get a lot of heat for this, and I'll totally take it, but I personally believe that to be successful with Agnes and Dora, you need to have 5 things. And if you don't have them all, that's completely fine. I don't think you need all 5, but I think you need to be strong in at least 1 or 2 to be successful. Because I think otherwise you're going to constantly be tearing yourself down. You're constantly going to be kicking yourself. You're not going to be able to stay in your own lane and focus on yourself. You're going to be seeing other people being successful, and I think you're going to get frustrated. Of course, there's definitely a way to be stronger in those areas, but I think coming out of the gates right away, if you were to decide in a week, these are the areas that you need to be strong in. A social media presence. I think that if you have 300 friends on your Facebook page and you don't have anything else, you're going to struggle. And I say that with 100% confidence. Now, I can try and get you on my team and tell you that you're not going to struggle, but you're going to struggle, because I would never tell someone that they weren't if they weren't going to struggle if they were. I had, when I started, and I'm not like, I don't make like thousands and I make several $1,000s a month with the business, but that's all perspective. I'm not like one of the top reps. I don't make, you know, $50,000 or $60,000 every month with my inventory. I am doing fine for myself right now. I'm doing great. But I have a social media presence. I have Instagram. I hate it. I really don't post on it, but I had the presence before I started. I had a Facebook page that was more public because of Beachbody. I had a personal Facebook page, and I know a shit ton of people. So that helps. I had already established myself as someone who is knowledgeable in fashion, and I had a large social media presence. That helped me a lot to get off the ground running. You do not need it, but it's definitely helpful. So if this is something that you think you're going to do, maybe spend a month kind of trying to build a little bit, network a little bit, see if you can meet some more people. That's kind of goes into the next one. So I think you need to have customer service and personality. So I don't think, if you don't have a big personality, if you don't want to be constantly like real and talking to people on a live video, like I'm not even live right now, but if you can't do something like this, you're going to struggle. You can learn how to do this. It's not impossible, but I'm saying you're going to struggle at first. Like if I'm going to start something new, I want to be as strong as possible when I start it. And that was something that I looked at with Agnes and Dora. I looked at it and I said, I can do this. Like, this is for me. I know that I can do this. There's no one that's going to get in my way. I'm 100% confident in who I am and what I am, and I can do this. So I think it's important that you know your personality style. I'm not trying to talk you down and tell you that your personality style sucks if you don't think you have a big personality, but you need to be able to talk to people, do a live, be kind of silly, be fun in your way, to be silly and fun in your way, to engage with your customers. It's all very, very, very important. And if you have a hard time doing that, maybe don't join right away. Maybe wait 3 or 4 months. Kind of work on yourself. Buy some videos, start practicing, maybe set up with a couple friends or family, and just start trying to kind of get out of your shell a little bit. Do some live videos just about something else that maybe you're knowledgeable with, and practice. And then that way you will be good whenever if you decide that this is really what you want to do. So practice, okay? Just don't jump into it and decide you're going to do it and then start trying to build yourself. That's the important thing. You don't want to have all this inventory down here in your house, like weighing you down, freaking you out, stressing you out. You want to be as strong and prepared as possible before you take on this kind of a commitment. Time. I briefly touched on this. It takes a lot of time to do this, you guys. It's a lot of work, okay? You really have to assess the time that you have available, the time that you're willing to give up to do this. It's not easy, you guys. It's not easy. So you really need to sit down and think about it. And social media knowledge. So I don't think this one's nearly necessarily as much as the others, but you do need to have a pretty good idea of how social media works. I mean, your reaches, you need to be able to know how to use social media. So that's just kind of a common sense one. If you don't know how to use social media and you don't have a social media presence online, it's going to be a lot harder. I saw somebody just asking about this the other day, and they got like a blanket answer about, well, they can do it. They can do, they can do anything if they really want to. That's fine. But let's pair that back with the full-time worker again. You don't have a social media presence. You're a full-time employee, and you're going to spend your weekends at vendor events or in-home parties. I mean, if you've got a family, I can't imagine doing that if I had a family. Like, there's no way. You want to play. You want to be with your kids. If you're single, hell, do it. That's if you're single and you're not worried about it, do it. But I mean, just, you guys have to think about it. I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this because I'm like trying to warn you about, to really think about this opportunity. But I just don't want people coming in to Agnes and Dora and then getting frustrated and leaving. So I'm being a little harsh. I'm being a little real about it because I just don't want to see somebody fail. I want to see you succeed. And I think that by giving you information, it helps you get stronger and get prepared and come in so that you know exactly what you're in for. That's all. So I just hope nobody takes this out on me because I'm really trying to be as honest and real as possible, you guys. I did say that we got to pick our inventory. I also want to warn you that, for instance, I did $12,000 in sales this month. Okay, so that sounds super awesome. Like, I can walk around and be like, I did $12,000 in sales this month. Okay, do you know what I actually did? If I sold $12,000 worth of inventory, I did $6,000 because it cost me $6,000 to buy the inventory. So I only did $6,000, okay? So I did $6,000, and part of that $6,000 is shipping costs and taxes. Send that out of the way. So we'll just do like $5,000. So then I made $5,000. And then I'm going to take half of that and I'm going to put it back into making more money. Like, I want to invest that back in with my initial inventory, or with the rest, and I want to put that towards buying more inventory. That leaves $2,500, okay? And then with that $2,500, I have the small costs like I talked about earlier. I have to pay a little bit on insurance, a little bit there, a little bit there. Okay, so where were we at? We were at 25 and I took off half. So just say maybe $2,300. That leaves me $2,300 a month. I can take that $2,300 a month and I can pay myself, or I can use it to put more towards inventory, or I can pay off my, any debt that I might have with my credit cards, etc., etc. So divide 2,300 by 2 weeks. Where are you at? Okay? So don't let anyone tell you, oh my God, I made $12,000 last month. Don't let them think that they are rolling in the dough, because they ain't. Okay? I'm doing this as extra. I am fully supported by my husband. We have insurance. We have the money that we need to keep our house and everything in it functionable. Thank God my husband is a saver, because I'm not. But we are fine. We have everything that we need is supported by my husband. So anything that I do is extra. And that's great. That allows me to buy extra things, do extra things. But I am not trying to do this right now to, you see the famous, I'm going to retire my husband. We're not about to retire my husband, because I could fall off the face of the planet tomorrow, and then my husband ain't got any insurance. He's got nothing. So that's why he's not going to quit his job. We are very realists. We don't believe in, that this could be the rest of our lives. In 4 years, this may completely flop. And yeah, I just said it. What if in 4 years, society changes again and no one is buying online? I have to think about those types of things. So the reason I am doing this business, I'm going to catch so much freaking heat for this. The reason I am doing this business is because I want to have the funds to be able to do other things with my family. And I want to be supportive to my husband, and I want to be able to take heat off him at any point. I want to be able to buy what I want to buy when I want to buy it, which I've kind of always done anyways. But that's why I'm doing this, and because I am obsessed. I love clothes. Like, this is my element. I love it. I love helping people find clothes. I love talking to my customers. I love hanging out with my customers on my live videos. I love messaging my customers about clothes. I love this. I absolutely love it. So in 5 years, if something like this fails, I will be absolutely heartbroken. I'll figure out my life. I'll put my big girl pants on, and I'll figure it out, just like I did all the other times that things didn't work out the way I wanted them to do. But my video is entirely too long. It wasn't going to be this long. I just want you to consider everything about Agnes and Dora. And if you want to send me any questions, you totally can. My contact information will be in the description on the video. I hope that you'll think about Agnes and Dora, and I hope that you'll give us a chance, because right now is an amazing time to be in this company. If you would like to, once you've had some time to consider and you would like to join with me, you totally can do that. We don't have a compensation plan per se. We work a little differently. We're not your typical direct sales company at all. So it does work differently. And if anybody tells you that, it's actually true. Things do just work differently for us. So if you would like to join me and be on my team, I don't know why you would, considering I just sat here and tried to make people feel bad about the fact that they're thinking about Agnes and Dora. You can. I promise I'm way super cool. I just don't want anybody to make a decision that they regret at any point. I want you to be completely super excited about being with this company, and I would love to have you on my team and hang out with me, because I'm pretty freaking crazy. So you can, like I said, you can get a hold of me with the contact information below. And I look forward to talking to you. And if you have any more questions, I promise I will give you the realest answer possible. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.